they've forgotten them. Okay, because let me tell you something. When you this is I hold very firm to this theory. Okay, and this may sound condescending, but it's not. There's more truth to it if you really think about it. Okay, is that if wrestling has never gotten bad enough while you're watching it for you to quit watching altogether, how can you speak for the people that quit watching the show? Like, if you've been watching wrestling for 25 years, okay, every week, all right, it's a lot easier to forget things that happened 15, 16 years ago. Yeah. It's a lot easier to forget things that happened 10 years ago. It's a lot easier to forget things that happened 5 years ago if you watch wrestling every single week. If you're a casual fan and you watch wrestling when it grabs your attention and when it's good, you know why you're watching, and you know why you stop watching. Okay, there's nobody that they're not embracing the audience of the people that have stopped watching because they're really difficult to find. They're not watching the show anymore. They're not, they're not posting in the forums telling them what they dislike about the show because they just stopped watching the show. So it's like, I just think, like, if you look at the successful booking periods in the WWE's history, there is a formula that worked. And it worked successfully for a period of time, and they've just gotten so far away from it that they've forgotten it to the point that they act like it was a bad time during professional wrestling. So it's like, you can say what you want, bro, but like during the Attitude Era, watch the way the shows were written. Okay, it's not so much the crazy ideas, the goofy thing, the edginess and stuff. It was the pace of the show. Mm-hmm. You didn't have you didn't have 14 and 15-minute matches with regularity on 3 or 4 of those a show. The show was written, and you watched it with the concept that you had a channel changer in your hand, and you could change a channel at any minute. So I had to keep giving you interesting things to watch. It's like right now, they booked this show like everybody's a religious watcher and is just going to watch it from start to finish, and they're never going to change a channel.
Yeah.
So so it's like, when you're doing that and you're losing your ratings, and people are stop watching the show, it's like, I'm telling you why they're stopping to watch it, why they're watching the show, because the stuff you're putting on there in too much regularity that I'm changing the channel in the middle of it. Like right off the bat, I can tell you, like, one of the major mistakes that they're making is the length of the matches. Okay, like when I was doing There's a thing, I forgot what this study is, because I did this. This was so, oh my God. What I did right now? I pulled into the South Point Casino. I'm in my car right now. I forgot that Donald Trump is speaking here today.
Oh boy.
And he's actually speaking here like an hour and a half.
Oh my God.
It's pretty funny. Yeah. So the parking lot's packed,
yeah,
obviously.
I was gonna say packed.
Yeah. So, what was I just talking about? There's a study that the basic attention span, like the max attention span for a television viewer, is something like right around like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of studies that have been done that, like, after 6 minutes, you'll start impulsively and instinctively changing channels and stuff. So you would just think that they would know that, like, okay, 14 minutes is too long for a match, because every minute after the 6th minute of this match, I think people are starting to turn, like, they're starting to look for other stuff to watch, Mm-hmm. So they're missing, like, basic, and then that's the thing, the people that watch the show talk about the booking, the content, the all this and that, but, like, these are like very simplistic marketing 101 philosophies that are true to the television viewer, that they're just not even embracing, or they're just completely ignoring altogether when they're writing the show. They're embracing the wrong audience. You need to start talking and trying to find the people that stopped watching wrestling and try to figure out, why did you stop watching? And I'll tell you what, I mean, bro, I'm still a fan, first and foremost. I stopped watching because I don't care about how good a fake wrestling match is.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the emphasis of the show these days. Then that's the emphasis that's on wrestling these days. Match quality. Like, these guys, I can't wait to see these guys wrestle because they're going to have a good match. Bro, to think about that, like, could you imagine back in the day if they were promoting Yokozuna versus Shawn Michaels for the world title because they were trying to promote it that they were going to have a 5-star match? Or where you're promoting it in that, like, here's Shawn Michaels, one of the greatest wrestlers on the planet, you're wrestling an unstoppable force. Like, he's a total underdog. There's no way he's, it's just a different philosophy of the fan these days, where they've been smartened up to where they know what the good workers are and what the bad workers are, and the feud is like secondary.
Yeah.
They don't care about what leads up to the match, which is what wrestling is all about. It's about the soap opera. I grew up watching feuds. Right. I could give a rat's ass about a match, and if all you cared about was match quality, Dusty Rhodes would have been a job guy. But it's the strength of the feud. Now these days, the strength of the performer is how good his matches are, which is like I just said. They've completely. Be a perfect example. That this will put it in a nutshell for you. Okay, if AJ Styles, okay, is one of the best wrestlers on the planet, correct? But now think about this, okay, and the way they're pushing him. They're pushing him as one of the greatest, one of the best performers.
Mm-hmm.
Not even like as a wrestler, just like, okay, this guy's going to, we got one of the best wrestlers on the planet. So it's like, okay, so we got a guy now that can fill our formula of the 14 to 15 minute match and, airtime and stuff. And he can, he's going to put great matches on, which really in the old model of professional wrestling booking just doesn't make a lick of sense. Okay. Because I grew up and this philosophy still works today, although they've just refused to embrace it anymore because everybody has to put their time in and have a good match. But when you grew up watching wrestling and you suspended your disbelief, and you just watched the show for the angles and the superstars and the characters, the faster a guy beat another guy, the better he was. Okay, that's the simplest, truest, formula that's gotten over. Bill Goldberg did Ultimate Warrior. Brock Lesnar. It works, and it still works.